Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the Torah Tribes, Yashala, giving the course. All honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi. Alright, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh in the name so becomes on Yahawashi. This is your brother Yashala, coming back with y'all with another video. Alright. And I like to, just get into the milk, right? And this video is what? Because the milk is what? Basically the basics of the scriptures. Alright. Milk is basically the basics of the scriptures. Right, this is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. So the milk is basically the basics, man. Right? The sincere milk of the word. And because when babies are born, you don't just give them, when they come out the womb, you don't give them meat. No. In fact, you don't even give them water. The first thing that they drink and consume is milk. Right? So we need to feed this milk to Israel. Right? Because this is what we'll feed it to. But basically, the milk is the basics of the scriptures. Right? I'm going to get another precept on that. I'm going to get right into the topic at hand. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God. Basically, the basics, right? Before you can become a teacher in this thing, you need to be taught the basics of the scriptures. Like what we're going to go over right now. What does Yahawashi really look like? Or Jesus, right? Or, who the Israelites are, right? That's, you should already know that. When Ezekiel lived, right? That's milk, etc. Esau and Jacob, right? Abraham, what tribe you come from, right? All these various things, right? That's milk, right? That's the basics of the scriptures. It says, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat, right? And not of strong meat, right? Because the strong meat is the deeper things. Revelation 9, right? Daniel the 11th chapter, the 12th chapter, Daniel the 7th chapter, right? These dark sayings and parables, that's the meat of the scriptures. That's the harder things to understand, right? So yeah, I'm going to get into it. So Yahawashi, if you didn't know, is not a so-called white man, all right? There's no way that Jesus Christ could have looked as he is depicted today, right? As a white man, pale skinned, right? And blue eyes, and stringy hair. There's no way that he could look that way, right? This is Revelation chapter 1, and you can find Christ's description in the scriptures, all right? Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, I'm going to just start at 1 actually. Revelation 1 and 1. The revelation is Jesus Christ. What does revelation mean? Revelation means to reveal. The revealing. Now this is the revelation of Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahawashi Mahashiach, right? Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants these things which must shortly come to pass, and he sent and signified by his angel unto his servant John. Verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Exactly. So what does this mean? In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, that's the menorah, right? One like unto the Son of Man, that's Yahawashi, right? That's Jesus. It says, clothed with a garment down to the foot. Clothed with a garment down to the foot, right? So you had a garment, a garment is clothing down to the foot, and a girt about the paps with a golden girdle. That's basically like a belt, right? A war belt, right? Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool. So it's saying that the hair in his head, right? And the texture of it is like wool, right? And what? As white as snow. So he had a beard, right? He probably had an afro, and John is saying that his hair was white and it was woolly, right? It was white and it was woolly. So if we look up a picture of Jesus Christ, I guarantee you that's not what's gonna pop up. Alright? Let's just look it up real quick, man. Alright? So does this man have white woolly hair, man? No. This is a damn devil, man. Alright? A beast. It's not Jesus Christ. Alright? It's not the real Messiah. Alright? That's an imposter. Alright? Not talking about Among Us either, man. Alright? It says, in verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. So his eyes were as a flame of fire. His eyes were red. It's not white. It's not brown. Alright? They're red, man. Alright? Verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. What does that mean, his feet like unto fine brass? Brass is the derivative of brown, man. Looks like copper. And what color is copper? Copper is brown. And he was so brown, it looked like he was burned in a furnace. Now we know that the Jesus Christ that they paint, that everybody got on their walls, that they got in the damn Catholic Church, that they got in the Christian Church, that they got in the damn Mormon Church, he's white as hell. He's white. He doesn't have red eyes. He doesn't have white woolly hair either. Even though the Bible tells us that he does. Right? It says, and his voice is a sound of many waters. He had a deep voice, man. A deep and a loud voice. This man, hey, let me show